NCIS is one of the longest-running scripted TV series to ever exist. The fictional series follows a team of special agents from the NCIS, who carry out a variety of criminal investigations. With so many to choose from, it's difficult to choose the best ones, but here's our picks for the series' best episodes. Starting us off is The Arizona. The Arizona is episode 20 from season 17 of NCIS. While watching, we get a more history-related storyline, as it follows military personnel who served at Pearl Harbor. More specifically, it's about the attack on Arizona during the Pearl Harbor incident in 1941, which caused the United States to join World War II. The segment features actor Christopher Lloyd as a Navy vet, Joe Smith, who claims to have served at Pearl Harbor and wishes to be buried with his fellow Pearl Harbor survivors after he dies. An investigation is then opened into his claims, and an emotional account is given by Smith. He goes on to describe the events from that day in 1941, and tells stories the viewers certainly won't forget. Later on, we learn that Leroy also served in the military. During his exchange with Joe, he talks about how he served in Kuwait, saying, "It took something from me. It's what war does." We get to see through violent flashbacks what exactly Leroy was talking about. The episode closes with a dedication to those who served on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, as well as those serving today. The emotional first-hand accounts given by many will certainly stick with the viewer for a long time. It's a great watch if you're looking for a criminal investigation with a historical twist. Next, we have Family First. Family First is the 24th episode of season 13. It consists of Michael Weatherly as NCIS Special Agent Anthony DiNazzo. The segment starts off by showing us continued investigations on a serial killer carried out by NCIS, MI6, and FBI going as normal, until a bomb gets dropped on one of the investigators, Anthony DiNazzo. While working, he learns that his ex-wife, Ziva David, who has also once been part of this investigation team, has been killed at her family farm. After hearing this news, Anthony decides to resign from the investigation team for good. We also later discover that Ziva and Anthony had a child together that Anthony knew nothing about. He decides to dedicate his time to raising his young girl, Tolly. Leroy Gibbs and the rest of the crew take the news pretty hard, but still carry on with their investigation to find this serial killer. Anthony DiNazzo's departure from the investigation team was filled with surprising new revelations and unfolding mysteries about his former partner, Ziva, and the child he didn't know they had. It's an emotional goodbye to one of the show's longest-lasting characters. This episode is loved by many fans of the show for its deep dive into one of the most beloved characters. And now for Spinning Wheel. Spinning Wheel will definitely stick with all viewers by tugging on their heartstrings. It's the 11th episode from season 13 of the show and follows two touching storylines, the first being that of the mystery surrounding the character Donald Mallard, also known as Ducky, and his stepbrother Nicholas Mallard. Ducky is attacked by an individual who claims to apparently have information about his stepbrother. For some background, his stepbrother had died a few years prior in an apparent car accident. This attacker, however, says that they know more unknown information about the incident. Upon getting this news, the investigators at the NCIS look for the perpetrator. This episode shows an emotional Ducky reminiscing about the good days he had shared with his stepbrother, while trying to understand the attack and what the perpetrator has said to him. The second storyline in the episode follows Emily Bishop in her marriage. Bishop is one of the special agents for the NCIS. We learn that Emily has been struggling with their marriage after learning of her husband Jake's infidelity. In hopes of reconciling with his wife, Jake decides to visit the NCIS office. When Emily sees him there, she takes him down to the evidence garage to talk. Already in the garage is Timothy McGee. Upon hearing the couple entering the garage, McGee hides so he can eavesdrop on their conversation. There, the couple talk about what the future of the relationship will be. And even though Jake says he wants to make it work, Emily decides that she isn't interested in giving it another try and ends the relationship. This episode is another emotional one that follows some touchy topics such as infidelity and losing a loved one. The two storylines in one segment make it an exciting watch that won't leave the viewer bored. So if you're looking for something that will really get you in your feels, Spinning Wheel is a great option for watching. Next on the list is Scope. Scope follows the NCIS team trying to understand certain events that had unfolded in Iraq. It's the 18th episode from season 13. The NCIS is met with the tough task of having to re-examine an attack on a group of special operations snipers while they were in Iraq. However, the more the team looks into the case, the more they realize that they have another mystery on their hands. It's then learned that roughly 6 months before the attack on the snipers, an American couple had also been attacked in the same place. The crew sees these as targeted attacks against Americans in the country. Leroy Gibbs then decides to get in touch with one of the survivors of the sniper attacks, Marine Sergeant Aaron Davis. But this is no easy task for the crew, as Davis is still being treated for his trauma-induced mental health problems. As the episode plays out, we're met with a huge shock. The weapon used by the attackers in Iraq was American-made, and upon learning this, the NCIS now had to figure out how the American weapon even got into enemy hands in the first place. Scope is filled with unearthed information and surprises constantly being thrown at the viewer. Being as suspense-filled as it is, it's a great watch for anyone looking for something to keep them on the edge the entire time. Coming up now is Truth or Consequences. The season premiere for season 7 is an episode about one of the members of the NCIS crew, Ziva. We learn that Ziva has been missing and that the members of the team haven't heard from her. They open an investigation into her whereabouts and learn that she's in Somalia. As a result, Leroy Gibbs, Anthony DiNazzo, who is also Ziva's partner, and Timothy McGee go to Somalia in an effort to find find her. It should be noted that the previous season ended with many team members suspecting that Ziva had actually been kidnapped instead of willingly leaving herself. Once there, Donazo and McGee are captured by terrorists in Somalia. After being captured, the terrorists demand that McGee and Donazo tell them who else came with them to the region, or else they'll execute one of their American hostages. We are then met with a shocking revelation that Ziva is in fact the hostage in question. Since they refuse to speak, the two men are held as hostages too. Towards the end, an action-filled rescue of the NCIS members takes place with the help of Gibbs. This episode has received great praise by fans, who have managed to get to the top of IMDb for many consecutive years. Being Season 7's premiere, Truth or Consequence, is also a great induction for new viewers to all the characters and dynamics of the series. Aside from being action-packed, fans really enjoyed this premiere since it showed how much Anthony Donazo was willing to risk in order to find Ziva and bring her back home. Finally, we have Keep Going. In episode 13 of Season 14, we are met with a mystery regarding a naval captain who had supposedly died in a hit-and-run situation. Leroy Gibbs decided to look more into the whole situation, and that's when he learns that the captain's son is a suspicious individual. Gibbs and the rest of the crew end up eventually spotting the captain's son standing on top of a building, and when approached, it's learned that he wants to jump off the building. The crew tries to calm the man down and coax him off his desires, but the captain's son repeatedly says how his father's death was his fault because of a stop they had at an ATM. The captain's son continues to persist though, essentially promising the crew that he'll jump off the building, but his comment about the ATM stop sticks with Gibbs and gets him to reconsider the apparent explanation for the naval captain's death. Gibbs and the crew then rush to find answers to what had actually happened to the captain. Keep Going is regarded as being one of the best episodes in the show's history for many reasons. For starters, the main cast takes a back seat and the spotlight is put on one of the supporting cast members, Jimmy Palmer, who's played by actor Brian Dietzen. Palmer is the chief medical examiner for the NCIS team. In Keep Going, Palmer reveals many secrets that shock many members of the investigation crew. Keep Going ends on an emotional note, as many of the series episodes do. It received a 9.2 out of 10 on IMDb, so it's safe to say viewers really did enjoy this one. That's a wrap for this video. Have you guys already seen these episodes? What did you think about them? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.